During the summer, I had the incredible fortune of going to South Africa for a couple of days on an incredible safari experience, where we saw not one, not two, not three, but 8 different leopards. So we were extremely lucky, and ever since I've been fascinated by these incredible creatures. I mean, it is pretty incredible to think that among the big giants that live with it, this thing still manages to be such a successful hunter. They have a population of 700,000 in Africa alone, and they are only listed as vulnerable on the IUCN list of endangered animals, which isn't that good, but it's not endangered just yet. Leopards have the largest range of any big cats, with their territory stretching from sub-Saharan Africa through the Arabian Peninsula, India, all the way to Southeast Asia, and even parts of Russia. And in almost all of these regions, they are not the apex predators. Usually it is something like a tiger in Asia, for example, or a lion in Africa. So in Asia, they have 2 big competitors, tigers and dholes. Now, dholes don't usually cause that big of a problem for leopards because of the leopard's great superpower of being able to climb really well. They are the strongest cats relative to body weight, meaning that they can carry a massive prey up a tree with minimal problems. However, while this does rule out many animals from stealing their kills, it doesn't rule out one, that being the tiger. Tigers are the real only sort of greater threat in their natural habitat. This is shown because where there are very dense populations of tigers, there are less leopards to be found. Now in Africa, there are quite a few more animals that can cause problems for leopards. Lions and packs of hyenas and African wild dogs can pose threats to leopards on ground, but once they're safely in a tree, they are usually not touched by anything. There is one big predator, however, that the leopard can take advantage of, and that is the cheetah. Now, unfortunately, as awesome as cheetahs are, they really are like the bullied kid of the savannas. They can get their kills stolen by hyenas, lions, and African wild dogs, and of course, leopards. But I guess the super speed ability was worth it, because it is because of this that cheetahs cannot retract their claws the same way that lions and leopards can, so they cannot climb trees all that efficiently because every time they run, it wears down their claws. Being in trees can be a great benefit to the hunting process as well. If a herd of impala are grazing near a tree where a leopard might be residing, then all it has to do is wait extremely patiently until a gazelle or impala wanders under one of these trees, and then it can leap down from the skies onto the impala, and essentially it has a meal. Now, this isn't a really reliable way to hunt most of the time, because who knows when a herd of impala will stumble under the same tree that it is in. Usually they hunt on the ground, and they will stalk prey extremely quietly and precisely. They can wait in a position for hours, being completely unnoticed, until they feel that it is the perfect opportunity to strike. When they strike, they usually go for the throat like many other predators. You know, this is usually the most efficient way to kill prey by suffocating them. But experienced leopards sometimes go for the snout. This will also suffocate the prey, but it also achieves another purpose, and that is keeping the prey quiet so that while it is being killed, other predators in the area that might be close aren't alerted to what is going on. Because before a leopard has the chance to take its prey up a tree, it is still quite vulnerable, especially in the African plains. Leopards will usually hunt smaller ungulates like deer, bushbuck, impalas, and gazelles, but they will also hunt small primates regularly, or even larger ones in places like the Congo. And leopards can take down other prey that are surprisingly large. There was a report of a male leopard taking down a 900 kilogram eland. And if you don't know what an eland is, it is pretty much what moose are to deer, except an eland is in the gazelle or impala family. Male leopard territories are usually larger than female ones, sometimes encompassing multiple female territories in its own territory. Of course, population density can have a huge effect on the average size of territories. In Kruger National Park, where I had the fortune of going, female territories are on average between 15 to 16 square kilometers, while male territories are between 30 to 70 square kilometers. Now, where their territories get ridiculously large are the more arid environments, where it can be more than 2,000 square kilometers for just one male leopard. Depending on the region, different leopards mate differently. Some will do it all year round, just living completely hedonistically, While in other regions, they will only do it for a few months in a year. However, when they do it, it is a multiple day event. It's usually the female that starts this ritual, if you will, and they will mate a ton of times over the course of these few days, with the female giving the male tons and tons of attention. The female does this so that the male is completely sure that the cubs are his, because if he is not sure, then a lot of times he will end the cubs' lives. If the dominant male in the area is killed or just is chased off the territory, then the new alpha will go around and kill all the cubs it can find. Speaking of cubs, litters are usually between 2 to 4 cubs, and for the first few days they are hidden extremely well, usually in a cave burrow or in a hollow tree trunk. And the mother does this obviously because in these first few days or weeks, the cubs are extremely vulnerable. They open their eyes and see the world after about a week in this cruel existence. After about 2 months, these cubs will start to eat meat, and just a few months after that, they will join and observe their mother as she hunts. Cubs will watch and learn these vital skills that they need to survive over another few months, and at around 1 year of age, most cubs can take down prey all by themselves. But sometimes they stay with their mothers for another 18 to 24 months. They really are like college kids living in their mother's basement. I shouldn't joke about that. That might actually be me soon. However, the day comes in every leopard's life when their mother brutally kicks them out of her territory. The switch up in behavior is very sudden, unlike with us humans, where it's usually a lot slower. Just a day after they were family, the mother goes and chases them off her territory. And this is the first time that leopard cubs will be all on their own. Sometimes if siblings have built up particularly strong bonds, then they will stay together for a couple more months or even years, but after a maximum of around 2 years, they will separate too. And now the leopard is all on their own. Females will usually only wander around 10 to 15 kilometers away from their mother's territory, while males will travel much longer distances, sometimes over 100 kilometers, just to find new territory or territory that they can take over from other males. The average lifespan of a leopard is around 12 to 15 years in the wild. It really is fascinating that these cats can be so successful in regions with seemingly much more dangerous predators. But through a combination of a bit of luck and the perfect adaptations that evolution gave them, they can do it. That's pretty much the end of the video, I would say. It's not a particularly long video, I don't think. Anyways, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Wow.